Briana Aldridge and Bill Jones here for a Monday night football game against the Cowboys and the Cardinals, somewhere where the Arizona Cardinals, Bill, typically thrive coming into this building. But it's not a Kyler Murray type game that the Cowboys are preparing for. We have Jacoby Brissett. How much does that change things?
Well, it means the Cowboys have a chance of winning because Kyler Murray has never lost in this stadium. Now, they do count the one game at Texas A&M on that 9-0 perfect record that Kyler Murray has here. I believe they count the one game he came in off the bench when he was at Texas A&M. But as a starter, he is still 8-0 lifetime, and he's not starting tonight. Instead, it's Jacoby Brissett. I do think, to answer your question, it does change things. And I think the Cowboys were prepared for either one because, of course, Kyler had missed the last two games with a foot injury. Arizona was coming off a bye week, and this coaching staff, and specifically Brian Schottenheimer, are very familiar with Jacoby Brissett because he coached him in Indianapolis as they rehearsed the national anthem behind us.
Perfect timing there for us. Always. It always comes out. But Jacoby Brissett is obviously a lot different than Kyler Murray when you're talking about using his legs. He's very comfortable in the pocket, so that's going to be a challenge for the Cowboys defense, bringing pressure, something that they've been struggling with all season. And Bill, typically I would take a deep breath when the backup QB comes in, but with this Cowboys defense, you can't really take too many breaths. That's the key.
We saw
here.
Russell Wilson, who became
a star.
Well, he was a star, and then he became a star again, and threw 3 touchdown passes, and they got 37 points on the Cowboys. And then a week or two later, he was benched by the New York Giants. So it doesn't matter the way this defense has gone this season, who plays quarterback, it seems like. But I do think that there is more of a vertical passing game that Brissett brings. In fact, Isaiah Stanback on Cowboys game day on Sunday morning, he was adamant that no, the Cowboys would be better off if Kyler Murray was starting at quarterback in this game. And by the way, Murray could have a role coming off the bench, but he is battling that foot injury. I think that one of the real interesting things, though, is the fact with the trade deadline looming tomorrow afternoon, and what Jerry Jones had to say this afternoon on Stephen A. Smith's show on Sirius XM, the Cowboys have already made a trade, according to Jerry, although it hasn't been officially announced, and he understands the help that is needed on this Dallas defense. And this game is so important tonight because there could be a couple of other trades that are in the hamper right now, and it might depend on whether the Cowboys win this game and are at 4-4-1 by the end of the night.
Jerry says some trade is coming, but that's all we're going to get from him at this point. And I'm a little nervous, Bill, because last year there was a need for wide receiver, and he said there was need and help coming, and then it ended up being Jonathan Mingo, and that hasn't really played out to anything this year. So I'm hoping Jerry Jones isn't just hanging fruit for us there on the defensive side. But speaking of the defense, they're going against a Cardinals offense who's kind of been out of rhythm. They're still trying to figure things out. Kyler Murray's their lead rusher, and he's not playing tonight, obviously, because he's injured. And then outside of really the tight end, McBride is the only real threat that they've been able to see consistently. So it seems like if the Cowboys defense was going to show up, this would be a good game to put some stats together.
Well, and to your point, Marvin Harrison Jr. has all loads of potential. When he came out of Ohio State last year as the 4th pick in the draft, a lot of people, including me, touting him as a future Hall of Famer. So if he can have a quarterback who has some time to throw and he has made some contested catches downfield this season and is averaging over 16 yards a catch. But the Cowboys have to figure out a way, first off, to stop the run. And to your point on the Cardinals' run game, they've lost their top 2 running backs to injury. Amari DeMarcado out of TCU is back healthy again, expected to play tonight. But they also elevated a running back from the practice squad today. So they're hurting at the running back position right now. And I think they're also missing Clayton Adams, who was their offensive line coach last year, who's now a big reason as the Cowboys' offensive coordinator that the Cowboys have revived their run game.
They have a lot of challenges coming like they do every week because, like this team has said, like Schottenheimer said, consistency just hasn't been there really on both sides of the ball. But defense, of course, is the big question mark who kind of has you at the edge of your seat at each game. I wasn't there for Cowboys game day, so if I was there, my click to pick would
Can
go
we say
back
why
to the
you weren't there for Cowboys
I was at my
game
shower.
day?
I wasn't on vacation.
Baby shower,
Despite what I
yes,
can
baby
imagine
shower.
Isaiah was saying.
How many people were
70.
70.
70.
All
yes.
right.
So
Very good.
it was very crowded.
Yeah.
It was very crowded. But I was like, if I was with my guys on Cowboys game day, I would have been focusing on the DBs, but specifically the safety room. That's been very up and down. They're so injured. I don't know if Wanye is going to be coming back. I know he's been dealing with the migraines issues, and then of course Malik Hooker is still going to be out. Donovan Wilson is also banged up, so I'm not sure who they're going to throw out there, Bill, but that's who I think is going to be a key, because communication has been something this team has struggled, and you saw that last week 100%. But who are you looking at for this game?
Well, and that's huge in that secondary, and we'll see. I mean, Wanye Thomas has been dealing with a migraine. It appears that he will give it a go tonight. We shall see. We're still a couple hours away from kickoff right now. Donovan Wilson obviously is out for tonight's game, but when you're missing 3/4 of your starting secondary, that is a blow and to begin with, when you consider Trayvon Diggs and Malik Hooker and now Donovan Wilson. But at least they've had a couple of games now where they have played, and some of the issues that they've had back there have been from a communication standpoint. And I think having the extra day to practice last week, this being a Monday night game, that they've had a little bit more time on task, and the adjustments that they probably have made as far as their communication goes. Maybe we won't see the bust of the secondary that we saw last week against Denver.
Fingers crossed. The Cowboys, they've been playing their butts off at home. They like to put up 40 points when they're playing at home, and they're coming off a really butt kicking against Denver. So this seems like a good way to get the win and enjoy your bye week. Don't have that loss hanging over your head, because the Cowboys haven't lost 2 in a row. So typically, if you want to look at the stats, they'll get a win tonight. So fingers crossed. That's it from AT&T Stadium. For Briana Aldridge, for Bill Jones.